to DeFi, degens, drip, and farm for poverty, where on this channel, our vision is to empower the impoverished by helping you find financial freedom through crypto assets. Please subscribe and leave a comment and a thumbs up. Hey guys, welcome back to DeFi, degens, drip, and farm for poverty. So I know I'm going to get a lot of flack for this title. It's clickbait or it's FUD or whatever, but I don't care. It's just my opinion and I'm entitled to that. So I'm going to dive right into it. So what brought this up is that I read a lot of books and a lot of them specifically on entrepreneurship and business and mindset, Tony Robbins stuff, Tom Bilyeu, growth development, all that stuff like that. And this one I read a little while ago, but it's the story of Starbucks. Freaking fascinating. I had no idea. I grew up during the Starbucks era in the US when they just started taking over everywhere, and then they're even here in Cambodia. It's crazy. Then also this book about Amazon, like how Jeff Bezos built his empire. But anyway, I read a lot of books. Okay, I lied. I don't read, I listen. And I can listen at 3 to 3.5x, so therefore I can go through a lot of books in a short period of time. But the point of this, what brought this up is not only Howard Schultz, but many other CEOs had to come back to their companies because their companies were basically, when they left, they were no longer doing what the original vision was set out, or they got off course and they were making less money, or certain things happened. And I just pulled this up just to see, and this is just the top 10 CEOs or founders that had to come back. Everybody knows the one about Steve Jobs. Then you have Michael Dell. Howard Schultz is here. So the point is, there's a lot of CEOs and founders, these visionaries, so to speak, that built these amazing empires because they had a really strong why and a clear vision and sense of purpose of what they wanted. But the minute that they were removed and someone else stepped in to try to quote unquote make money or focus on profit, the business crumbled and you had to bring these guys back in. So what does that mean? That made me to think about this analogy they have. It's called the bus test. So we used this when I was in IT as well, in the corporate world, but it's basically a thought process or thought narrative where you ask, if you or anyone inside your company were hit by a bus, what would happen? Like, would the company or the product or service continue to go on as is? And this person in this article says, if you prefer a softer version, imagine you or a key person in your company choosing to live in a monastery with no phone or email for 5 years. What would happen to your business? So this made me think about Forex and what he's building. And I honestly don't have an answer to this. So part of me thinks that if this were to happen, if Forex just decided, I quit, I'm leaving DeFi, or going to live in a monastery, or God forbid, we're hit by a bus, what would happen to the protocols? And part of me says it would continue doing what it's doing now and just die off, because right now the animal farm is paused, so half of the drip ecosystem is kind of broken, for lack of a better word. So part of me believes that if he doesn't finish, then and something were to happen, then this would continue, and then it would just drift off into nothingness. The other part of me thinks that the community would somehow find a way to rally these things back to life. There's a lot of really smart people in the ecosystem, and obviously he just hired one from within the system himself. But I don't know, how many people would believe in that new vision or how that would come to be if that were the case. This is just a thought experiment. I'm not saying that's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen, but it just got me to thinking, is like, what is the survivability of the Forex ecosystem if there's no Forex? And part of me, like I said, believes it could go on with the community, and the other part of me believes that without him, there is no ecosystem, because he's kind of like these founders again. So someone else could take the reins, but will it be as successful? And partly I believe it wouldn't be. Additionally, there's the issue that I think he mentioned in an AMA or in a chat somewhere, that he controls the keys basically to add the liquidity, take liquidity out. Same thing with the Twitter account, because he wants to make sure that no one else can basically screw up his work and put a bad name in the space for what he's building. So if that be the case and there really is no backup, then this would ultimately kind of lead to fizzling out. But again, the community could rally and create something like Atlantis Metaverse. They don't need any permission, so to speak. The drip tokens are there, the contract's already there. So there's definitely things that can be done to support it going forward if this were to happen. But it just made me think about it. There's just something to run by, because this is a risk in DeFi. It is decentralized, but it also is inherently tied to the ideas and innovation of whoever's writing these contracts. And ultimately, we're at their mercy and trusting and believing in them. So I know on the drip white paper, it says that it is a low risk, high reward, but I've been telling you guys on my channel, everything's high risk. We saw Terra Luna collapse and the entire blockchain get migrated to a 2.0, and that was a quote unquote too big to fail. It was in the top 10 cryptos at one time. I think it was 60 billion was lost in that. So you never know what can happen. Nobody saw that happening as quickly as it did. Literally in 1 week, just go to zero, and you won't even find it in the top 20 anymore. It's gone. So I don't know what will happen with any of these projects or whatever, but the question still remains about the bus test. And I think that's just a thought experiment you need to run for yourself when you start to look at your own risk tolerance. You never know what's going to happen, and you need to be prepared for a worst case scenario. Basically, that's what this bus test is all about. It's all about creating contingency plans. And that's why in DeFi you can get into other projects and do other things. I'm personally all in, as you guys know, with the Forex system. So for me, if it failed, then yeah, I'm pretty much up shit creek without a paddle because I have put everything betting on this, because the likelihood of Forex getting hit by a bus or just quitting DeFi is low. But it's, yeah, you never know. Same thing with BNB and what they're, the SEC snooping around again, what that will mean. I think it actually might be bad for the US people, because they may not be able to use Binance anymore. But that's another story for another day. At least it'll still be here for the rest of us. So anyway, that's what this clickbait title was all about. Not FUD, just want you guys to think about, yeah, how can we as a community continue to support the project? What can we do to bring more eyes into drip? Because remember, the contract's written on this. There's nothing else that he needs to do for this. The extra utility definitely helps, but the simple fact that it already does what it's supposed to do means that we as a community can do other things to help support that. Some people have their own business models that they're integrating into it, and pay to earn or play to earn games. There's all sorts of stuff that can be done with drip, and also with the Pigs token, because that one's actually done as well. So just some stuff to think about. See what you guys think in the comments. Let me know. So until next time, lift daily and achieve your impossible. See ya.